I want to tell you about this new brand here, Everest Longevity. I switch things up on you, and you say, well, what happened to Atomic? Well, Atomic is fine, live and kicking, but let's think of it as Atomic being a subsidiary of a larger brand and company called Everest Longevity. And well, why would you do that, and why do things like this happen? Well, not taken lightly, a lot of time and energy put into it, and blood, sweat, and tears, all the good things. Atomic always was set up to be total fitness, a holistic experience. But I think in order to be able to truly convey that to people in a new moment in time, it requires a more specific title and designation, which is Everest Longevity. In other words, Everest, invest in forever. The time that you put in on things now bears fruit in the future. And in 1998, I was in systems engineering school at Virginia Tech, wasn't super enthralled with the curriculum, but was too far into it to switch majors. And ultimately, I think I knew and understood that it was character building to complete what I had started. And this, I guess, in many ways is the continuation of that same mindset. When I was in that position where I was struggling academically and probably psychologically, not knowing which way to go, which end was up, but other than that I had to kind of grind my way through this experience, I finished reading the book Shogun. And that book really inspired me, and it impacted me, and it made me want to essentially study martial arts. That was what I took from the book. It was, all about feudal Japan and the samurai and all of the cool parts that you could take from that. Kind of crystallized in my mind is, I could actually go and I could walk into a martial arts school and have an experience that would allow me to kind of tap into that Eastern philosophy. And I did that. I walked into a martial arts school. I saw these people moving in unison, silently, working their forms and practicing together. And I was just like, that's it. I want to do that. I need to have that. I need to make that my own. And so that spark, finishing the book, having the realization, do martial arts, and then martial arts catalyzing kind of the ability to finish what I had started with regards to my academic career, and then propelling me in a whole new direction. That is what I hope happens to you at some point in time. And I'm sure it has happened at points in the past. There's the life you have before that experience, and there's the life you have after that experience. And there are people that don't have this experience, which is very sad. But there's me prior to finishing the book and then walking into the martial arts school, and then there's me after that. And so, whether you decided to be a doctor or, you said, I'm going to become a great skier or whatever it is, you just said, like, I need to do that. That's what I want to do. That's really the essence of what Everest Longevity represents at this stage. And it's not just a concept. It is a system that I have built. It is a system that capitalizes on these type of experiences occurring over and over and over again. And I could probably map out through the course of my career, there's probably been at least a half a dozen major bifurcation points where, when placed at that crossroads, I literally was able to look back to the experience with like, well, I finished the book Shogun, I walked into that martial arts school, and I got this result, versus, say, quitting, giving up, turning around, or saying this is not the right thing. And there are values to both directions, but it's the ability to differentiate between the two. Know how long to go before you choose to fail, and fail hard and fail quickly, and then reroute. But the path is always waiting for you and is always there, should you choose to search for it, accept the realities in front of you, and be able to trudge on. And so I've built something that I call the Ascension Protocol. So Everest Longevity Ascension Protocol. We help you look at your life from a holistic global perspective, get a hyper level of organization, create an operating system, something that allows you to filter your experiences, the highs and lows, the ups and downs, and everything that occurs in between that can be a distraction from your directive, your mission. We then also deep dive into the physical, all the things that we know and love about atomic total fitness and strength training and VO2 max and getting your cardiovascular fitness in order, and being able to do all of the diagnostic tests that are available to us today genetically, the biomarkers, all the types of stuff that you can either partner with your physician, or we have liaisons in those fields to be able to provide those services, to then saying, how am I actually integrating with myself? Like, what is this self conversation between me, my family, my coworkers, my career? What is the legacy that I'm leading and leaving on this earth? Am I leaving this earth in a better place than I found it? And so I know that's a lot, but I did want to just, put the flag in the ground, basically say, I want you to live with power, thrive for your life, and we're going to keep providing you with more information. We're going to continue to give you more details as to how this works. Of course, this is a social media platform, so I'm going to try to give away as much as possible in the hopes that you're able to have that aha moment that, wait, there's something more that I could do. There's something better that I could do. What if I could get this result? That's the conversation I want to have with you. It's definitely possible. And I at the very least, I'm a sample size of one that it can be done over and over and over again. So wish you well, and hit me up. Let me know what you thought of this video below. Thanks. Bye.